Hello, welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to take a look at the tail of two 10-inch pump pliers. Now this one is the genuine 430 that has been made by Channellock for a long time. And this one is the knockoff by Harbor Freight Doyle. Now you can see there's a lot of similarities between these, but we'll see if we can find some differences and perhaps see which one for the money is better. Channellock is fiercely made in the United States. The Doyle is made in China. This Harbor Freight offering is exactly half of the price of the Channellock. The Channellock, as of time of filming, directly from Channellock's website, just under $20, and the Doyle being just under $10. To start it out, let's see the overall length of the tool in the closed position. You are right at 10 1/4 on the Channellock, and we're right at 10 1/4 on the Doyle. The Channellock, as the handles are closed, we have, let's go right at the spot there, it's 1.5 inches. The Doyle, like 2. The overall width at the body, 2 1/4, 2 1/2. So the Doyle is sticking out a little further, as you can kind of see, shown there. Let's go to full opening. Full opening on the Channellock 430 is right at 1.75 inches as I measure it with the tape measure here. The Doyle is 1 5/8 inches. So the Channellock opens further. Let's count the grooves in these. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Same number of grooves. The groove spacing is right on about 1/4 inch for the Channellock, and it is right around 1/4 inch for the Doyle. So they're very similar in that regard. The size of the pin on the Channellock is right at 1/4 inch, and slightly over 1/4 inch on the Doyle. So the pin may be a little bigger on the Doyle than the Channellock. Depth of jaw on the Channellock, from the tip of the jaw to the back of the pump pliers, we are getting 1 3/8, and on the Doyle we are getting pretty much the same. It's like right at 1 5/16, so not quite as deep as the Channellock. So both of these are going to close on the tool itself. Sometimes pump pliers have something that will allow the jaw to stop here and not pinch your fingers. The Doyle does not have that, nor does the 430. For weight, let's see how heavy they are. The Channellock 430 is right at 404, probably 405 grams. The Doyle, 415, so Doyle's a little bit heavier than the Channellock. They both have rubber handles, and I think both are set relatively well. The Doyle has a mark from its packaging. That's a little nitpicking. These Channellocks have had some time on them. They just happen to be the newest 430s I have in the shop. End play. You always have a little bit of end play in these. We can illustrate it probably a little bit better with the tool closed all the way. It's really not bad with the Channellock. The Doyle's better than I thought it would be, but you can see it's got a little bit more play in it, more than the Channellock did. Now, overall thickness of the jaw, I'm going to go right with just about a 1/2 inch on the Channellock. Let's call it 7/16. The Doyle, right around the same, 7/16. Now, one that I'm pretty interested to see what the difference will be. You can see this Doyle is essentially a clone of the 430s. It's just a little bit different here and there, probably in the right places to keep from having any sort of patent issues or what have you. The tongue and groove is just a little different here and there, but largely it's the same tool. So let's get out our hardness files and get into the 430. I'm going to start at an HRC 55, and I think I'm just taking scale off. Let's go down to a 50 and see. Let's go down to a 50 and see if it glides. Yeah, it actually does. So it might be between a 50. Yeah, that's scratching it. So that's the upper. Let's do the lower. Yep, we're scratching the lower with the 55. The 50 isn't biting in. So we're right in between a 50 and a 55 on the Channellock. Let's get out the Doyle here. 50 is very lightly digging in. It has more resistance than the Channellock did, but it is still gliding a little bit. I'm going to guess that 55 is going to dig right in. Oh yeah. So I think the Doyle is just a little softer. Yeah, that's digging in. So I think the Doyle's a little softer than this newer variant of the 430. Maybe at some point we could do a test between the different ages of 430 and see if they get harder as time goes on or if they get softer. So there we go. The 430 is kind of an iconic tool that if you've worked in any trade for any amount of time in your career, you've probably run across the 430s, 420s, or 440s. These are just tools that, it's a tool of the ages for the most part. The Channellock tongue and groove pliers is very well known and it serves its purpose very well. It's a very versatile, simple, basic tool. You don't have to go crazy with pushing buttons. You can just go between your tongue and groove settings. If you want to put them back to nothing, there's an easy flip of the wrist movement. Yes, the push button tools are handy and nice, but if you're used to tongue and groove pliers, there's really not a substitute. Just out of curiosity, let's look at what angle they need to be at in order to operate. They are both pretty much the same. The Channellock being right there and the Doyle being right there. And because we're just playing around here in the shop, let's see what degree we can get away with turning this at. And that would be about 59 degrees on the Doyle, and on the Channellock we're going to call that 68 degrees. So that means that the Channellock, you're less likely to have an annoyance change on it when you're using it. But the Doyle is also decent. There's neither a great or a bad, just kind of playing around here. So let me know what you think. The Channellock 430, as I said, is an iconic tool. Almost anybody in any trade has a use for these, whether you're welding things, you're an electrician, you're a fitter, pretty much anybody can come up with a good use and maybe a not so good use for a pair of Channellocks, but they will get you out of a bind. They'll get you out of a lot of issues, and they really don't cost a whole lot. This pair of 430s is just under $20 at time of filming. These are half as much. I do not know if you get the bang for the buck. The Channellocks, let me know if you have the Doyle. Have you beat on them? Do they hold up better? Do they get loose and sloppy? Do they strip out? Do the teeth wear? I do think this is a little softer than the Channellocks. Have you had, I know some of these people say have been getting worse as time goes on, but between these two, they're both available right now. This is the modern day 430, modern day Doyle knockoff of the 430. Do you have both? Do you have one of each? How do they hold up for you? I like hearing all of that stuff. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on these. And as always, thanks for watching, and have a great day.